Here's who stood out on day 17 of 49ers training camp. Keep in mind, second-year wide receiver Jacob Cowing did not practice. He's been trying to return from a pulled hamstring he suffered on day 1 of camp, and it seems he may have had a setback. We'll find out exactly what happened to him the next time Kyle Shanahan speaks, which will be after the Niners preseason finale on Saturday night. The good, cornerback Diamador Lenoir. He finally got to face Ricky Pearsall one-on-one during the one-on-one drills. Lenoir's been out there. Ricky's been getting his feet underneath him. The Niners haven't even done this drill in a week and a half. They faced each other twice. Lenoir beat him twice. The second time, Ricky fell down. More on Ricky in a minute. I don't know if Lenoir is an elite cornerback, someone who you could put one-on-one against Jamar Chase with no safety help and say, shut him down. But all I know is that there's no wide receiver on this team who's currently on the active roster who can beat Lenoir. Brandon Ayuk could before he injured his knee. Maybe he will in the future. But other than that, not Demarcus Robinson, not Ricky Pearsall, not Tariq Owens. Strong safety Marquise Siegel. He made a nice pass breakup during 11-on-11s. This was when Purdy threw the ball down the field to Ricky Pearsall, running a deep crossing route on play action. He's good at running those routes because he's so fast. And when the ball's in the air, he can jump really high. He has a 42-inch vertical leap. And so this one was a 50-50 ball. He got there first. He jumped higher. But Siegel knocked the ball away because Siegel is physical and violent. And Pearsall isn't, at least not as much as Siegel. So Siegel has a lot of range in center field, and he hits hard. I think he could be a free safety or a strong safety. Defensive tackle Alfred Collins. He isn't a pass rusher yet, and he still isn't in peak physical condition, but he's improving. And you can see when he's getting reps with the starters. He's playing a little bit of nose tackle, it seems. They're putting him in the A gap, and when offenses try to double team him, he's hard to move. And then on passing downs, he doesn't get any push, but he's tall, and he jumps up and down. And today he actually tipped a pass of Brock Purdy's that was intercepted. So he's having a positive impact. After practice, Robert Saleh was asked about him and was diplomatic. And he said, I know he wasn't happy with his performance against the Raiders, which means Saleh wasn't happy with his performance against the Raiders. But today was a step in the right direction for Alfred Collins, who is a major work in progress. Linebacker D. Winters. He caught the pass that Alfred Collins tipped that was thrown by Brock Purdy. This was Winters. It had to have been his third interception of Brock Purdy in camp. I don't know how good of a run defender D. Winters is, but on third down, when you need a dime back, a dime back, someone who can cover at linebacker next to Fred Warner, Winters might be the best option. Nick Martin might be a better run defender, all-around linebacker, maybe on first and second down, but Winters is so good in coverage. They have to find a role for him in this defense. Wide receiver Robbie Chosen. He won all of his reps during one-on-ones, and he also won on a deep post route during 11-on-11s, and Carter Bradley just missed the throw because, hey, it's Carter Bradley. But Robbie Chosen is funny. He's a little past his prime. He's in his 30s. He's not quite what he used to be, but when you put him on he's having a good camp. And when you put him on the same field as Ricky Pearsall, they're awfully similar. I mean, Robbie Chosen is a poor man's Ricky Pearsall. And if Ricky were to ever go down, Robbie Chosen could do a lot of the things that Ricky does. If you don't believe me, check out their pro day results. Tight end Jake Tonjes. He also won his reps during one-on-ones. He's a good route runner. He's faster than Luke Farrell. He has more finesse to his route running than Luke Farrell. I'm not saying he's a better player than Luke Farrell because Luke Farrell's here to block. But purely as a receiver, there's no comparison. Luke Farrell isn't that good, and Jake Tonjes is pretty good. Cornerback Jacob Robinson. I know I have a clear bias here because I decided a few weeks ago that he's my favorite rookie on the team, but it's because he's good at football. And today, not only did he win all of his reps in one-on-ones, as he always does, today he was facing Junior Bergen. He's better than Junior Bergen, who was drafted. Jacob Robinson was not. He also intercepted a pass thrown by Carter Bradley. So Jacob Robinson doing everything he can to make the team. If they cut him, they will be making a huge freaking mistake. The not so good wide receiver Ricky Pearsall. It's not just that he lost his 2 reps to Diamador Lenoir one-on-ones, because Lenoir's a really, really good corner, and I've never seen Ricky even face him. So You got to face him for the first time at some point. Today was that day. I wouldn't expect him to win. Maybe he'll improve over time. It's just that when Ricky faces a physical cornerback, when he has to, actually create space without just his feet, when he has to actually fight for space or fight for a 50-50 ball, he's not that strong. And he's not that durable. Today, he actually won a 50-50 ball over Ronaldo Green, jumped over him in the red zone, came down, and hobbled off the field. And trainers were looking at his shoulder. He's holding his hand, then he was doing this. He ran back out there and he was fine. But for a number one wide receiver, I'm sure he's going to get 100 to 120 targets this year, and Kyle Shanahan will scheme him open, and he'll put up really good numbers. He's a good player. But this all kind of feels a little manufactured. He's not just going out and beating the best cornerbacks on the team one-on-one. That's what Brandon Ayuk did for years. This is different. I think he's more of in the Deebo Samuel role. Deebo couldn't run a route or get himself open to save his life, but he still was valuable, and Kyle Shanahan found ways to get him open and get him the ball. Ricky Pearsall will be easier to get on the ball, but he won't be breaking tackles like Deebo Samuel. Wide receiver Jacob Cohn hurt again. He really needed to do something to impress this team, because if you remember, they weren't that sold on Jacob Cohn. Pardon me. When they drafted Jacob Cohn, they wanted someone else. The guy got picked, and with 2 minutes left on the clock, Kyle Shanahan was asking the scouts and the people in the front office to do a show of hands on who they should draft, this guy or someone else. There was some defensive player they were considering. So they did there was a 50-50 split on the vote, and with 5 seconds left, they did a third vote, and Cowan narrowly won. So they were never sold on him, and he hasn't really done anything to win him over. And now he's hurt again. This guy could, not make the team, although all the other wide receivers are hurt. So maybe he's just, fitting in. Maybe there's peer pressure to be hurt in that wide receiver room. I'm sorry. Wide receiver Tariq Owens. He's interesting because he really is Terrell Owens. He's like a poor man's version of his dad. He's smaller than his dad. He is athletic. He is explosive. And he also has terrible hands, just like his dad. I don't know if you guys remember T.O. T.O. would drop some of the most important passes in the game. Third down, he would put up numbers, but right when you really needed T.O. to come through, he'd drop the ball. And his son is a lot like that without the Hall of Fame athleticism. So probably not going to make the team. Quarterback Nate Sudfeld got signed yesterday, didn't participate in 11 on 11, participated today, first pass intercepted. You got to love it, man. Let's not mess around. Let's remind everyone who I am. Nate Sudfeld. Who am I? I am. Quarterback Carter Bradley also got picked. The Niners don't have a backup quarterback. They have Brock Purdy, who's excellent, and Mac Jones, who's hurt, and Carter Bradley and Nate Sudfeld, who are not even fit for the practice squad. Final one, Kyle Juszczyk. This is interesting. So a run play, 11 on 11s. No, it's not actual tackling, right? You're supposed to keep everyone on their feet. Hand off to Christian McCaffrey. Juszczyk, lead blocker. He blocks Fred Warner. Good block. Really gets him out of the hole. It's just that once he did that, he didn't let go of Fred Warner. He actually locked on, spun him around, and kind of tripped him and threw him to the ground. I wouldn't say threw him to the ground, but Fred Warner ended up on the ground, and he really didn't appreciate it. These are two guys who have been teammates for 8 years. He got up and got in Kyle Juszczyk's face and yelled something right at him. And I wish I could have heard what it was, but I don't think it was that nice.